in the synagogue, and it houses 3 different congregations. So if you're not a member of Tree of Life, you still go there if you're a member of Dor Hadash or if you're a member of New Light congregation. They were all in there this morning, dozens of people.
So again, just to recap what we just learned not long ago, we know that there are at least 3 officers that were shot. Multiple casualties were being told in this shooting, but we're still working to learn more information about who the shooter was and what other information we're trying to grab from police. But still, they're moving down further towards the street. We're still being told to clear out the way as they're still moving some units in this area here. Joined with Mike Clark, not far from me. Again, he came out the same time I was, and we went through the neighborhood trying to find what was going on, and that's when Mike happened to find someone who used to lead the synagogue not long ago, giving us those updates from a rabbi who was inside and all the situation that was going on. Again, as they're in the middle of having a congregation in that spot here, still reaching out to our newsroom to get the latest updates that are here. And just to keep in mind, police are trying to really put this information out that if you live in this area of Squirrel Hill, specifically near the Tree of Life Synagogue, stay indoors. They're saying this is still an ongoing situation, but we do know that the shooter is in custody, that we're being told. Not told exactly who this is yet, as this is still an early part of the investigation, but we're still working to learn more details after this. Right now, we're currently at the intersection of Murray Avenue and Northumberland. That's in Squirrel Hill, and what you're looking at right now are multiple squad cars down the street, as well as some ambulance that we see here. And over to your right, we'll move just slightly over, you'll see Mayor Bill Peduto is speaking to other people that are here right now. Not quite sure when the next update is going to be for us, but we're staying here, keeping in touch with the Pittsburgh police for the latest information. One of the things we've been doing out here is trying to find other people who may have heard what's been going on, or possibly other people who were inside the synagogue at the time. Still trying to also confirm information in regards to how many casualties there have been, as well as details regarding who are those casualties, as well as who are the officers that were shot. Being told 3 officers were shot. Not quite sure which hospitals they were taken to here. But still just showing you a look here down the road. So right now I'm trying to look for Mike Clark. He's been out here still getting more information what's happening here. I'm going to toss it to him right now. He's been here this morning with the latest information. Mike.
Thank you for grabbing that.
I got you, buddy. So Johnny right there. You see that guy right there? That guy right there. I got you.
Yeah, no. The person that's right here is not Mary. What is your full name again?
Jeff Finkelstein.
Jeff Finkelstein, and
I'm the CEO of the Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh.
CEO. He is the CEO of the Greater Jewish Federation of Pittsburgh.
Jewish Federation of Greater
Oh my
Pittsburgh.
gosh, Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh.
Can you say that also real quick again? Your name?
Jeff Finkelstein, and I'm the CEO of the Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh.
Thank you, sir.
Greater Pittsburgh, yeah. There's Andy's still going. Yeah, they'll just come to us. going and going and going.
Jerry, I'm talking to media.
So right now, at this moment, this actually is not quite Chris Stogneri here. We're actually talking with someone else here with the... sir, who are you with again?
I'm the CEO of the Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh.
Just do the interview.
And so you've been out here this morning. Can you tell us, what do you know on your end, sir?
I think I know everything you all know from the police reports right now. Several people, congregants most likely, a Tree of Life congregation, are dead or injured, and it sounds like some police were also injured as well.
It's a place where people go with their families. I mean, that's where they're going to congregate.
Yeah, on a Saturday morning is at synagogues throughout the region. There are services on Saturday mornings.
And can you, they're taking us live right now on KDKA, so for everyone that's tuning in right now, can you say your name and explain your title for people that are watching at home? What do you manage?
I am Jeff Finkelstein. I'm the CEO of the Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh. We are the main fundraising planning organization for the Jewish community. Part of our function actually is we employ a Jewish community security director who is actually on his way in. He's a 28-year veteran with the FBI, so we look at the issue of security throughout the Jewish community.
Where were you this morning when you heard the news first?
I was in my house here in Squirrel Hill.
Can you paint a picture of how, when you heard that, what was going through your head at that moment?
You know, I was in Israel till yesterday, and landed back in Pittsburgh late yesterday afternoon, and a little jet lagged, and when I heard that, everything just total sadness, emotion, worry, and I ran over here as quickly as I could.
I heard that someone who I believe oversaw the synagogue previously, that you guys have had discussions in the past about this kind of situation, that the FBI has come and consulted on this kind of thing. Is that the case?
Yeah, that is correct. We've done lots of training on things like active shooters, and we've looked at hardening facilities as much as possible.
Describe for me how many people would have been inside the synagogue on a Saturday morning, and what types of people would have been in there, what they would have been doing.
So I can't tell you exactly how many were in there. It depends if there was some type of bar mitzvah or other special event which would bring more people. I would guess at Tree of Life, a typical Saturday morning would have, at that time in the morning, maybe 50, 60 people, I guess.
You talked to Mayor Bill Peduto. What did he pass along to you?
He just said we'll do everything he can. The city will do everything it can to help out. And I also heard from Keith Rothfuss this morning, who's on his way here as well. Really appreciate all the help from our local politicians.
Do you have security guards there during Saturday morning services? How big is security an issue for you guys?
I'm not a member at Tree of Life. I can't comment on their security practices. You'll have to talk to someone from the congregation.
And Officer, we just heard from Chris Togneri that there is at least one, he was in custody, the shooter's in custody. Hearing that, and then after what's been happening this morning, how does that make you feel, sir?
Now I'm just sad. I'm really, I don't know what to tell you. My heart goes out to all these families. This should not be happening, period. It should not be happening in a synagogue. It should not be happening in our neighborhood here in Squirrel Hill.
Can you describe the situation at Wilkins and Shady? We're told it's not just one synagogue, right? There's a couple buildings there.
There's one building. There are several congregations that share the same building.
Can you tell me a little bit, if in that room, if people were trying to get out of that room, are there a number of exits available for that? What does it look like?
You know, I don't know which room they were in this morning. I can't comment. I'm sorry.
What's next for you in your position? What do you have to do? Who do you have to call?
So we're already in touch. I've been in touch with my colleague Brian Schreiber, the CEO at the JCC, and with our Jewish Community Security Director Brad Orsini and our Community Relations Director, and we're going to figure out what we need to do as a community to pull together. and that'll probably happen over the next 24 hours.
There are many cities that are streaming Pittsburgh News Live that are not familiar with Pittsburgh, and
Right.
they don't understand the Jewish community in Squirrel Hill. Can you paint the picture for people that are watching that don't know Squirrel Hill?
Yeah, so Pittsburgh is very unique as far as its Jewish community goes. A little over 50, we just finished a community study, and it shows that a little over 50% of the Jewish community of greater Pittsburgh lives in or around this one neighborhood of Squirrel Hill. It's a high concentration of the Jewish community. It makes it very special, actually.
And just for people who are joining us right now, could you just repeat who you are, sir, and where you're with?
Yeah, I'm Jeff Finkelstein. I'm the president and CEO of the Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh.
Our other reporter, Andy Sheen, said it's a conservative synagogue. Can you describe what that means?
A conservative synagogue is one that is traditional yet open to change and adaptation to modernity. I think it's the easiest way to say it. Sorry.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And again, just kind of piecing together more information here from this morning. That was Jeff Finkelstein, of the CEO of the Greater Jewish Community of Pittsburgh, and very active this morning, still hectic, but we are being told from Pittsburgh police that someone was taken into custody. We're being told the shooter was in custody, and we're being told at least 3 officers have been shot. We're not quite sure where exactly they have been taken, and right now we know there have been multiple casualties. That's what Pittsburgh police is telling us, but we aren't exactly sure how many multiple is. We're still waiting to hear from an update from Chris Tognieri with Pittsburgh police, and we do know that Pittsburgh Mayor Bill Peduto is out here as well, trying to stay in touch with first responders, and we're still trying to figure out exactly what led up to this. We did hear that people were with their families gathering during a congregation when this happened, and still trying to get other information with this as things have unfolded here this morning.
Right now, in terms of the officers that were running through and tactical gear and ambulances, we still hear some sirens.
So I'll show you what we're dealing with right now. You can see there are still plenty of officers that are down there at this moment, still trying to get some details in regards to how this all happened. Right now we are currently standing at Northumberland Street and Murray Avenue, and just to repeat myself as I've been doing for a little bit here, that officers are asking that if you live near the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh, to stay indoors. They're saying this is still active as they're out here investigating. We're still waiting to hear an update from Pittsburgh mayors not long from now. And not long ago, we also heard from someone who used to be the president of, I believe, the synagogue, one of the areas in there. And we're still trying to get more details. And out here right now is Mike Clark getting more information from other people who have been here at this time. I'm going to go ahead and give it to him. He's joining me here. I'm going to swing the camera over and give it over to Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. We are hearing that the suspect was apprehended as he was trying to get to his car on the side of the building. Or he's still blocked off. The new information from Chris Lovingood, I was not there for the police update. You were telling us that.
Yes, when we talked to police not long ago, we were saying that we know at least 3 people, rather 3 officers were shot, and we know that multiple people were, multiple casualties that is. We're still working to get more information in regards to that, and we're still waiting to hear more updates from police. It's still very hectic, even as you just saw a little bit ago. Police are still moving down that area. Yep. But the one message that they echoed is that people still need to stay indoors right now if they're near the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh.
Chandy Chapman just talked to someone who arrived on the scene in tears, and she was explaining to her that he has a loved one inside and hasn't been able to reach her. Just to give you a sense of who is here right now, in addition to Chief Executive Rich Fitzgerald and Mayor Bill Peduto, you have State Representative Dan Frankel is here, Councilman Corey O'Connor is here, Guy Costa is here, as is State Senator Jay Costa. They are here, they're hugging residents. They're hugging the people who are coming out here, wanting more information about what is going on. And all throughout Squirrel Hill, there is just sadness here in Squirrel Hill.
Let us see article. Why should the Jews here in the middle of Saturday have to be shot because they are Jews? Tell me that. Tell me that. What's wrong with that? What's wrong? Why the media never covers stuff up? Why? Where you guys out all the time? Never see a story. Those people have 4 families, doesn't have their loved ones tomorrow. And nobody care. And all these things go to Jews. It's laughing now. Yeah. To worship because of his agenda or his religious or his active or the way it is. The media never, it's always to the left side. Yes, you ask me. You guys, you have to do a better job. You're not doing a good job because you're very, okay. Right.
As soon as we have confirmed information, we'll have it to you.
Okay,
Sorry.
What did you say?
Sorry, again. We understand there are a number of outlets that are reporting there are a number of fatalities. We don't have anything confirmed at this time. We're asking everybody please to be patient. As soon as we have some confirmed details for you, we'll be back out to brief you.
Amy, do we know how many people were inside the building?
I'm sorry, we don't know that information at this time.
Confirmed she was in custody?
Yes.
Sorry, thank you.
Well, I just need to know. Yeah, we're live. Oh, Governor Wolf.
Are you live?
No comments as of yet. No comments. We're going to go through. We're going to go through. We're going to get the information as we gather. Guys, as far as you're going,
All right, I've been live with Chris most of the time.
I know someone's reporting a specific number. There's no specific number. Three officers. I'm not sure where they're not hospitalized.
Right next to the police station, but there were maybe 50 sirens in a row, ambulances and stuff like that. And so I woke my husband. I said, "What's going on?" And he got up and he said, "Well, I don't know." And we went to the window, and outside the window we saw all the SWAT teams going by, like I don't know, maybe 50 SWAT teams, people with rifles running by our house. All these people with rifles.
If I may ask, do you attend the synagogue at all?
No, we don't, but we have close friends who attend the synagogue, and the first thing we did was we called them to find out if they were in the synagogue.
And did you have any
That's
friends?
that's after we heard that this was going on in the synagogue. First we didn't hear anything, and then I got a text from a friend of mine. He said that it happened with synagogues, so we called our friends right away.
And did you at all? Did your friends that you reached out to, any of them in there? From the ones you reached out to?
They were not there.
Did they just have you bring that backpack just to bring? Yeah, Strong smoking?
I'm just going to try and gather some more interviews from him.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And again, we've been out here this morning. Mike Clark was with us while we arrived just around the same time. Mike, it's been a very hectic morning. We've been talking to you.
What happened and why a gun was walking through the reflection fire. We can tell you that Governor Thompson arrived moments ago with U.S. Senator Bobby Casey. They are having some other witnesses. Mayor Bill Petito and Executive They're all on the scene right now trying to get an update on what happened. While the suspect is
I mean, if you want to take over at some point, you can grab this mic and we can do whatever you want to do. If you want to work.
Yeah, I do.
You know what I mean? I don't know what anybody else is doing. You just let me know. I'm here.
Oh, if we want to do
Yeah, if you want to do stuff and gather stuff, you let me know. Because now I'm just sitting here. She's right there. They had to push her out. She's staying there. come out.
She did it. A friend of mine. So what do you do? Like, so what's your You was out here, Coach? He's out here. Oh, whatever happens. Yeah. I need to get my batteries from my car and charge my phone that's down that way.
The makeup didn't help.
No.
We posted this on the alternative social media site. I went to search for the name on the site. Already taken down. Robert Ballard.
Yeah, I guess so.
You said your name is Rabbi.
Well, people call me Rabbi Chuck, or Rabbi Chuck Stein. I was the rabbi at Tree of Life, or the Simcha. Was the one that started it. The Simcha was the rabbi there for 7 years. It doesn't change well, 9:45. So queues come late for services. So a lot of people probably get today. At the time, there's a free services in the building, and they're taking.
Abject no.
Yeah, it's blocked. Yeah, it's park where we can, and then we got to walk. People if you're in the outer area, maybe just coming in, 50 staff people, duty people. So there's one entrance on Wilson. No, there's one entrance. During on Shabbat, there's no security. I have to tell you, I always in the back of my mind that something like this, and it might happen, because of the way they work today. One of the past presidents, Michael Eisenberg, told us that you could go under, you could conduct training, including homeland security. Yeah, yeah. People came in by the Federation. It's has a very active program, and what kind of training do people go in? Well, I tell you, I wasn't there for that particular training. It's something, again, it's a professional system in the world. Even though we've been fairly safe here in Pittsburgh. This is something that's in the background. This is somebody I want to have there. Not between the lines. From the building where the lawn trench coat, and then to go into the trunk of his car. And I knew him, but I went out to check it out just to make sure. So you have to, just always have to be careful. And this is Greg here. I got a call about 10 o'clock from all confidence.
Clear the road!
Hospital. We know that 3 police officers were shot, and we're hearing from multiple sources that at least 8 people were killed. And the gentleman who's speaking right now is a long time. You guys want to be a rabbi? It looks nice. It looks like
Hey, it's Andy. Hi, what are we streaming live right now? Okay. Yeah, both. Okay. Well, I'm just wondering, I mean, because like, I just don't know if my camera hasn't been taken for a while, I guess, or what's the deal? Who's choosing, who's choosing who does that, just so we know who's live and what's going on?
So it's really nice to, I grew up here, and I lived right up there around the border. So it's a community, the house that I grew up in. And it's a wonderful Jewish community. We all get together across the board, whether it's Orthodox, Hasidic, or conservative or Reform. And we have wonderful Jewish communal organizations like the Federation, like the Jewish Community Center. So it's very vibrant and very active. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know what they have scheduled this particular week. Some weeks they have a children's service. And again, I hear stories that there's a bridge or services, which may bring in more families, more families into the building. I don't know much more than that. It's possible that there were some children there, but again, I don't know. You mentioned a list of people that he only recognized one name, and he said another was under Jane Doe. So I don't know. No.
Rabbi Chuck and you, I came in here late. Hey, how are you? Just give me your reaction to hearing this and what you know so far. That there was a shooting like synagogue where you'd been a rabbi.
Right.
Thank you so much for that.
And just going to break away there just a little bit. We had an update here from the governor, we've got the press release here saying, I'm just going to read right from the phone here, saying the shooting in Pittsburgh this morning is an absolute tragedy. I've spoken with local leaders in my institution and the Pennsylvania State Police to provide any resources to assist local law enforcement and these senseless acts of violence are not who we are as Americans. And my thoughts right now are on focused on the victims, their families, and making sure law enforcement has every resource they need. And we must all pray and hope for no more loss of life. And we do know that, again, Governor Tom is here right now. He's further up the road, but we cannot move further away from where we are now. And I'm just going to come back over to Mike Clark here. This gentleman here, I believe, used to be a rabbi at what was before in the synagogue, before they merged into one.
Yes, Rabbi Chuck, he's known here in Squirrel Hill as Rabbi Chuck. And Rabbi Chuck Diamond told me that he got the call this morning. Had he still been the rabbi at New Life, he would have been there this morning. The Tree of Life, rather. He would have been there this morning. And he said his first response was crying. He started calling people that he knew may have been in there. And he said all of the people he called, luckily,
Each service usually has 10 to 15 people.
Hey, it's Andy. I'm going to switch. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's me. Yeah, just walking around like this? Yeah. Yeah, well, we were Okay. Well, he wants me to switch with him because he's dying. He says his shoulder's killing him. So I was going to switch out with him, and then I'll tell him to give you a live picture, and I'll start doing the live.
The exact number. And to my understanding, talking with even Rabbi Chuck was there, this is the day where they don't.
Okay. Well, yeah, call me. I tried calling to see what we were going to do, because I didn't know if we were moving or not. Well, no, I apologize. I probably should have had something up, but I was getting this fast. But
between the three congregations. We do have an update on sources earlier this morning that the building was being searched.
Yeah, CNN right now is reporting 12 shots
I have never seen as many police vehicles on scene.
Alan, I think people say we're being told to stay inside their homes. We are promised an update. The update that you reported.
Where's that one bag? Where's that bag? I have one. Oh, there it is over there.
It's aggressive.
No, John's.
Why is it so dark?
That's a favor? Yeah. Hold on this.
Here comes Guy Costa. I don't know if he's going to say anything or not. The county police on scene.
or has sources saying that there's some concern that the shooter may have left a bomb. That was one of the concerns. We know there's ATF police on scene. Governor Wolf has arrived as well.
Where you at? Hey, great. I've got live view. Yeah, just get into the scrum. And I've got a stick mic and an XLR. Okay, great. You look this up. They should be covering the pressure shortly. I'll just hold this back. All right. My gear. We don't know. Nothing. He's on the lower. Are you going over there? Do you want me here or do you want me over there? I'll go over there. You stay. Who's on? Me? Stick my receiver on. Good, you got a shot. Oh, no. Do you have another BNC cable?
Down there, yes.
Maybe actually I was wrong.
Yeah, you're short.
It's my picture, but I have a static shot up. Kind of long shot. Is that what's on right now? Is that hot? What?
Hey, it's Aaron. We're coming back up on 56H or MH6.
What do you Oh no, mine says live. What do you see? Yeah. Or what do you? No, I see. Maybe they're not numbered. Yeah, because I'm saying what picture's up live? Is it? Do you see like? Is it a long shot? Yes, that's me. Yeah, that's me. I'm pushing in right now to Wolf.
A lot more about
Okay. All right.
Talk to me, Aaron. Good.
not on right now. I can hear my number.
I'll put down a card.
I'm right over here.
Oh,
white
great.
van.
Great. Okay. The mayor of Pittsburgh is now saying the building has been confirmed safety.
It's probably better if I
Okay.
get
All right, go for it. We know has completely confirmed.
Is it wide?
At this point.
Yes, it's wide as we got, and we check the levels.
Check. 1, 2, 3.
Hold on, nothing there yet.
Everything's pretty good.
Oh, you your battery?
Transmitter real quick.
No, I got you. I can get it for you. Give me a second. I'll grab it for you. Well, we have a quick swap out opportunity.
Check it again.
Because they're doing this and Janelle.
Check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Yep, you're hot.
Okay. Yeah, I got you, man. All right.
You got to be in speed.
All right, there's a shot there.
And what? This is one of the small battery, right? That goes back there. Yeah.
Yep, right there at the corner.
Hoffman's taking a look for when I'm almost crippled. But keep my phone.
Aaron, Doug knows that.
Oh, hey.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, great. Oh, thank you, man. All right, I'm going to swap out. Maybe this is... Well, I have to get another battery. Hey, it's Aaron in Pittsburgh. We should be up now.
I haven't heard of it.
All right. Yeah, please. Yeah, we do lip sync and all that. Hey, camera guy will be Dan.
Well, I just heard from
No, Dan McCollum. Check 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. 1 2 3 4 5.
Sadly, the death toll that appears to have risen, but officially from any
Check
police
1 2 3 4 5.
heard that. I just spoke to one of the former rabbis there, Rabbi Chuck Diamond. Rabbi Chuck is here in Spring Hill, just expressing his shock at hearing this.
No,
Turkey, I think you mentioned this too. So many of us who live around do not, by the way, belong to this synagogue. But that we almost literally inside that building
I mean, it's live. It's live.
There was risk, ceremonial circumcision going on there, so that would bring it back.
Go and grab another B and C.
Okay.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, the STIN is good. 1 2 3 4 5. It's like 10 feet. Okay, we're switching out B and C's. Hold on.
What is the latest that we are
I'm gonna swap out a cable real quick.
They are being briefed and
Yeah, we'll throw bars up on the camera.
a couple of minutes away from getting official briefing. We will have that for the live on camera. But that's the latest right now. Here at the corner of Northumberland and Murray, only about maybe 3-4 blocks away from the synagogue. Sorry,
Yeah, wait a second. Color bars.
1 2 3 4 5.
On the camera? Oh, let's switch the camera to 60i. They said it's at 24p. Yep.
Oh, then the previous cable might have been fine. Yeah, it was getting that kind of juddery look. I thought it was my live view.
Okay. 59904i?
Yeah, that's it.
Copy. Doing it right now.
Sync? Everything's good. Check 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5.
Those are just two of the interviews that we've done.
Thanks. And we're on New York Rim what? 56?
All of them say
Thank you.
that up until now, whenever
Okay, we're just gonna leave that up. Be ready to move if we.
if it could happen, if it's
Thank you guys.
now, they're going to say
The
it
20.
did happen, and they will take more security measures.
Yeah, if you can round it up and he can shoot, then we're okay. Yeah.
Actually, he could shoot.
Okay, great. Great.
Driving around this world. Be trying to get here.
ADL B'nai B'rith.
Not B'nai B'rith yet, but there was the Jewish Federation president was here.
And what did he say? Do you know?
He just described what was going on here this morning. Why it's so important to come to Shabbat services to start the
Yeah.
What's your name?
Gershon.
And are you a member of?
I grew up in that synagogue. I was
sorry.
like bar mitzvah, Sunday school. My parents went there. So I think like now.
Do you know anybody in there?
I don't know who was in there. I met someone who was there last week. No, that's it. Your mic is hot. Just a second.
Hey, it's Aaron in Pittsburgh. Hey, good. We got a shot up on 6H.
That's possible. There's some public officials coming closer to us here. Might be able to learn something more about what happened. One of these.
You put that battery in there.
Yep. Well, we're seeing some movement down there of the police officials, and it's hard for me to see if the governor is...
Hey, Andrew and Janelle. We are at the corner of Northumberland and Murray waiting for the latest update. We expect in a few minutes that we will get that update. But just to give you an idea who is huddled up at the corner here on Murray Avenue, you have Governor Tom Wolf meeting with U.S. Senator Bob Casey. You have Chief Executive from Allegheny County, Rich Fitzgerald, Mayor Bill Peduto. You see Jay Costa, State Senator, walking back to that group right now. We've been waiting to hear from Chris Togneri. He is the spokesperson for the City of Pittsburgh Police. He said he'll give us an update of what happened this morning when that man walked in and opened fire at the Tree of Life congregation here in Squirrel Hill. State Representative Dan Frankel is a member of this community. He came and he looked shell-shocked. He was just numb as he walked past. He said, "I don't know much information and I can't talk right now," as he joined that group that you're looking at here on Murray Avenue. You see Mayor Bill Peduto hugging a woman who walked up to him right now, and that is what you see all morning long here, people giving condolences to one another, huddled together in disbelief that their Saturday morning was shattered by this gunfire at the Tree of Life congregation. Once again, we do expect an update from Pittsburgh Police at any moment. We are preparing for that news conference to happen to give an update. But as you mentioned, Janelle and Andrew, the suspect is in custody. As more and more people are coming to this corner here for more information. Just to give you a sense, I arrived on the scene this morning on Shady and Hastings. Police were already on scene. I saw at least 15 cruisers coming down Shady. This is just minutes after the shooting, and they were pushing people, rerouting traffic and pedestrians. So many people walking to the synagogue this morning for service, including Michael Eisenberg. He was walking to the synagogue. He's the past president, and that's when he started getting phone calls, getting updates. He is on the scene as well. He's been providing us information about, it was not only Tree of Life congregants at the Tree of Life this morning, there were two other tenant congregations, New Light and Dor Hadash. And he said that you can expect on any given Saturday morning between 30 and 50 people at the Tree of Life. And then he said maybe a dozen or 2 dozen other congregants in the other tenant congregations that were meeting this morning. Again, all these streets in Squirrel Hill remain blocked off, even though Mayor Bill Peduto issued a statement that the building has been cleared. It is safe right now. You see the flashing lights of the ambulances. Many ambulances still are on scene here. City Councilman Corey O'Connor joining that group of elected officials who are huddled up right now with police officials. And Andrew and Janelle, just as soon as we get an indication when this press conference will begin, we'll come right back to you and we'll let you know.
Yeah. Can you communicate that my battery is on 3% battery? Can you tell? And you have to change your battery. No, we switched 3 cables. It's got to be the input on the line, which is brand new. That's what it's got to be. Andy has to replace his battery, so I don't know if you want to get a camera in there.
Yeah, go ahead, John. Yeah, John got you. Camera battery?
I don't know how this company's supposed to camera battery.
Your TV or camera battery or TV?
I mean, I have one right here.
Yeah, no, I got you.
How's the battery on my phone that you're using for IFB?
No. Oh, we're strong.
Who is it? My card.
You want me to do this?
Can you get it? Yeah.
Well, stick this in there.
A good source told me that surgery, period. You need to confirm it.
You hear me? Sorry, what were you saying?
That's why I called. He didn't. Okay. What number do I get when you call? I know this is not kosher. If I just put that guy on speaker and talk to him, remember the gentleman you brought us over? Yeah. We got the maintenance guy's number, and he's willing to talk. But they're trying to call him, he's not answering. So we just put a mic up to the phone and put it on speaker. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're going to do.
Wait, we have to do it. Go away. Do it from one of the cameras. I don't want these guys listening.
Yeah.
1 second. I need to address the camera. I'm right back to you.
They tell someone that?
Yeah. Who's free? What phone tab is free?
I need a free.
Hey, the live you glitching?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Back to the point. Great, yes. Delay there. Guidance for the everybody's backing up now. It looks like we
Guidance real quick. There's
rid of that backpack for you, or you okay with it? Huh? You want me to get rid of that backpack for you, Dave?
Huh? No, that's my laptop.
My gear's over here, Chris.
Off camera.
SDI connector on
I can talk to you, but Andy is in a position to get this news conference packed.
I'm saying why? Take this.
It has about half, but if you have two new ones, just so we don't have to worry about it. Two in here. Yeah. Do you have any?
I have
There's some in my car.
Let me see one. Let me check it. Oh, and go ahead.
Go to my car. Open my backpack. There's two in the top zipper.
Yeah, we have a store. I thought you
You mean you don't have a slim one?
Where you at? You're plugging your phone. The charging? Just a second. Let me try. Try taking it out and putting it back in. There you go. Now try. Is it in there? Let me try this.
You want me to call and tell Colin this one?
You're not sure.
I just texted.
Is it sure? You felt it? Okay, cool. Here, hold that with you. We're just going to have to play competition.
They're waiting for me. I'm waiting to go. How long will
You
it
should
take?
be okay. What new information do you have? You want me to go? Any new information about to take me live?
They're going to take you live?
Yeah, that's what they just said.
I just told them
What do we have here?
Nothing new, just waiting for them. You can tell them I could go.
Okay, but we know Senator Dan Frankel, right?
Yeah.
That's how you say his
No,
name?
no, state representative.
State representative. And then Senator Jay Costa?
Yeah.
U.S. Senator, right?
Wait. Andy is in a position to get the news conference. I could talk over pictures right now.
I got to do this. Yeah, thanks.
These must be dead. I'll go look for more.
Chandy. No, I just sent one like a minute ago.
You want to go live, you can go out of here.
Yeah, I can't move.
No. He's gonna sneak by.
All right, I'm gonna start calling this dude.
Okay.
No, I don't.
I'm listening. I have no idea. I'm just gonna wave. Oh, sure. Vehicle coming. We're gonna have to. Okay.
I'm past thinking it can't see.
Just double checking. It's these four guys that are here, right?
Yeah, I don't have my glasses. Tell me.
Oh, sorry. State Representative Dan Frankel, State Senator Jay Costa, U.S. Senator Bob Casey, and Governor Tom Wolf.
Chris, can I see them?
Yeah, gotcha. Thank you. Yep. Did we see someone get arrested? Did we get anyone? Did we see anyone get arrested, like put in a car? I didn't. Okay. I'm gonna squeeze past you.
So it looks like they're going down to Lake City. Yep, channel 1.
Well, as I heard Janelle say not long ago, they were talking a little bit about not having security today. I'm being told from someone who attends that synagogue that actually their community security director is former FBI, to my understanding. And right now we're still waiting to hear back from Governor Tom Wolf, who's behind me. Actually, there's a couple of people that are here on scene. Let me step out of the way and kind of show you what's happening right now. Being told, actually not being told, I saw walking by State Representative Dan Frankel and Jay Costa, as well as U.S. Senator Bob Casey being here. We did see Governor Tom Wolf, who did release that press release not long ago, condemning the action that happened here today. And just to recap for people who are just joining us here, we do have confirmed information that at least 3 officers were shot, and we're still being told there are multiple casualties, but we're still waiting to hear back from Chris Togneri with Pittsburgh Police in terms of how serious this goes, and even going further to who exactly was taken into custody. Again, we know that the shooter was taken into custody, but we're not quite sure who exactly we're dealing with here. We're still staying here waiting to hear from Governor Tom Wolf and other elected leaders. Mayor Bill Peduto is out here as well. We're being told to stay back right here. I'm at the intersection of Northumberland and Murray Avenue. And right now we're just trying to piece this together, still talking with neighbors who saw this whole thing unfold in terms of police response as well as ambulance as well. And we'll be sure to bring you that as soon as we have it. Janelle, Andrew. Well, it's been hectic. I mean, honestly, I was actually in 3 different locations before I'm at the intersection I'm at now. In one location, I saw different SWAT team members posted outside the synagogue and swiftly move forward. And then I'm being told that the staging location was actually a few streets over. And that's when I ended up moving and seeing, I'm going to step out of the way here. I think something's happening quite yet. There we go. Sorry about that. And as soon as I moved locations, that's when we saw multiple SWAT team members armed walking down the street telling us to get back because the situation at the time was active. Now, right now, we do know that the Tree of Life Synagogue is secured at the moment. But in terms of getting more information, that is what we're at right now, waiting to hear from Governor Tom Wolf, waiting to hear from Pittsburgh Police, getting you the latest information as soon as we have it. Well, one woman, she's actually right on the corner that's to the left of me, and she said although she did not hear the gunshots, she did see police response, and she was just shocked, her words, that this would happen here, simply because, in her words, this is a quiet neighborhood. We also talked to the former president of the synagogue, who came out here and spoke with our Mike Clark, giving his idea of what happened here in terms of just expressing complete sorrow for what happened. We do know that there were multiple services going on at the time, at least 3, and after talking to a rabbi at the synagogue telling us that usually there's about 10 to 15 people that are inside each of the services, but we're not quite sure on a confirmed number on how many people were there. And not long ago, I did speak to on the phone somebody who was inside the synagogue when it happens, and he didn't have too much to say at the moment because he was rightfully so shaken up, and I'm trying to get in touch with him right now. He's still giving his statement to police. We're just waiting to hear back from him. He said when he's a little more comfortable, he'll try to paint us a picture from what it looked like being on the inside of the synagogue.
Mike wants live. They want Mike live. They want us both?
Do they?
No, just Mike.
Just Mike. All right. He's coming.
Can I squeeze through? Or should I go? I'll go around.
We're seeing some movement back there, but again, we haven't seen anybody walk through the camera. Get ready to get right now. I can tell you, as the reporting on the suspect, Robert Bowers, the 46-year-old from Pittsburgh, you guys were saying that I went around to some people, including we heard earlier from Rabbi Chuck Diamond, who was a rabbi at one of the congregations there in Tree of Life, and I said, have you heard this name? And I also asked,
yeah, I want to paint the picture. I was heading to the gym this morning. I stopped into the station, and that's when we got the news that there was an active shooter situation here at the Tree of Life congregation in Squirrel Hill on Wilkins Avenue. I tried to get to the scene as quickly as possible. I arrived at and got as far as Hastings and Shady in Squirrel Hill. Police had this entire neighborhood surrounded and protected. They were telling people to get inside, stay inside. We've been talking to neighbors. A woman named Jennifer, she said her daughter was across the street staying with a friend, and she heard the gunshots. She heard the loud booms from the gunshot, and police immediately came to the scene, told them to get into the basement and huddle and be secure. She was grateful that she got the phone call from her daughter that she was okay. Police, she's commended police for coming to the scene so quickly. I do want to tell you the most devastating news that we encountered was one of the gentlemen inside the Tree of Life. His name is Augie Siriano. He's the maintenance man at the Tree of Life. He told me, Mike, I've been there for 25 years. It has always been a beautiful, quiet place. Augie just had this sense of devastation on his face. He said he was in a bathroom in an area of the building that was not being used. It was a vacant office. He said he was in the bathroom doing his work, and he said he heard the boom, 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 boom. He said he immediately went outside and saw one of the congregants on the floor. Immediately he started running out of the building, and 2 Pittsburgh police officers were there. He was ordered to get down. He had his phone in his hand. He told the officers, I'm dialing 911 right now. Augie Siriano is okay. He was being ushered for some counseling, and he just really needed to talk to somebody. And he did tell me before he left that one of the rabbis, Jonathan Perlman, he is the rabbi from the New Light congregation who was a tenant here. And they were in the middle of the service. He was successfully ushered out. You can see behind me, you see elected officials. They're huddled together. We saw Governor Tom Wolf arrive with U.S. Senator Bob Casey. They immediately met with Mayor Bill Peduto, Chief Executive Rich Fitzgerald, State Senator Jay Costa. We just saw Mike Turzai, State Representative Mike Turzai arrive at the scene, as well as State Representative Dan Frankel, who represents this area. We saw Corey O'Connor, and all these elected officials are huddled with Pittsburgh police, trying to get a sense of what happened here. We did ask one of the longtime rabbis here in Squirrel Hill, Rabbi Chuck Diamond. We asked him, who was at Tree of Life. He said, Mike, I would have been there at the time this morning had I still been the rabbi there. He said his immediate reaction was tears. He started crying when he heard. He immediately started contacting people who may have been inside the building. He said, thankfully, his friends did not go to the service this morning. But once again, to give you a sense of the 3 different congregations inside the Tree of Life, several dozen people there as they start their Saturday morning. Just that is the sense of what is going on here as we wait for this press conference to get underway here. You see elected officials hugging people who come to one another. If Andy can kind of zoom in, just a sense of devastation here this morning here in Squirrel Hill. Andrew and Janelle, just as soon as we get a sense of when we'll get that update from Pittsburgh Police spokesperson Chris Togneri, we'll come back to you immediately.
The restaurants, the stores, the houses, the feeling of real neighborhood. We have block parties here where we close off the streets. We just had one on my street, which is only a few blocks away. It's understand that the public safety director, Wendell Histrick, is coming right out to speak with us, so we're going to get an update. But piggyback to your question, it's just when I moved here in 1985, I knew, I actually lived in another neighborhood at the time, I knew I wanted to be in Squirrel Hill. This is the place I wanted to be. I wanted my children to go to school here. They did. They went to high school not far from here, Alderdice. So it is a place, like so many around the country, that they just don't think this can happen here. That's what we think in Squirrel Hill. How you doing?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You right?
Yeah.
You have friends inside?
I'm sure I do. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. You know, there's no way I don't know somebody in there. You know?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
We'll make it nice. Really great to meet you. Big fan. I like what you sing too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Catholics there. I accidentally said church instead of synagogue, and I was like,
Right. No.
Sorry, you're in my way. I'm sorry. I am going to have to step out in a minute.
Serious?
I have
You're really sick? Yes, but what's going to happen? Everybody's going to freaking move forward.
That's what my fear is.
Great. And now
I'll scoot with you.
Here, I'm going to pump up a little bit.
No, not yet.
And I'm going to go skinny.
Yes.
So I can get up higher. Are you good? You're good. You're totally under me. You don't even have to duck. Hit.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
Oh, thank you. Chris.
I can actually get in.
You good?
I'm good. You guys can go right.
We're not on for until his search comes, they said.
Just when David pops in front, you guys
Never know how far we'll have to reach this microphone, depending on where they stand. This is great.
we should be able to all plug in and get your sound in, which is going to be better than this.
We'll give you anything you want.
You got an hour.
Sure. I don't know.
She's right up front, so what's that?
My friend's like, why are we on Fox News?
You are right. Robert Bowers, Castle Shannon.
But that didn't go in. Someone says if there's bad news, I'd rather hear it from my fictional.
She doesn't have any trip.
Step back. Yep.
We're here to help.
I didn't see it at all. You're
Okay,
good right now.
awesome. That's where I want to be. Pockets are full.
No, I've got Robert Bowers charging right now.
I turned it back on, but I'll turn it off.
Thank you. Keep an eye on him. He's kind of mean.
He's kind of scrappy.
Yeah, he's scrappy.
Are you in Montana, Chris?
No, we at least expected it. At least expected we kicked him.
The cousins were going to do it, and then like at the last minute they decided not to. We couldn't get turned around.
It's like a cousin that has places, isn't it? Or-
Well, it's all
We hire
share and stuff.
non-special.
And we did our Mexico trip in December. Jason was
We go for all of them.
her job. No, it's a studio in Pittsburgh. Yeah, it's like 706 Center, right down the street from us.
Yeah.
It's old, but it's good.
You know, I because when I was like 25, I was.
Yeah, right now we're waiting for that news conference to happen. We're going to get an update, we're told, in about 15 minutes from now. You see the elected officials meeting with police right there, waiting for that word for police spokesperson Chris Tognair to come and tell us the update. We have been able to confirm the identity of the shooter, Robert Bowers, from Castle Shannon. That's all we know, his name and where he lived. Robert Bowers of Castle Shannon. We have confirmed he is the shooter in custody. We don't know the severity or if he was injured in the apprehension, but we have learned, according to a source, that one of the police officers shot was a member of the SWAT team here. He is at Mercy Hospital being treated right now. So that is new information. One of the police officers hit was a member of SWAT who responded all morning long. We've been showing you the scenes of officers arriving, not only Pittsburgh police, but neighboring municipalities and state troopers coming in full gear, coming to respond to the shooting this morning at the Tree of Life congregation here in Squirrel Hill on Wilkins Avenue. We're at Northumberland and Murray right now. That's the latest information we have at the scene. We don't know the condition of the officer who is at Mercy Hospital, but that's the latest information that we've been able to gather from the scene. Once again, the shooter, Robert Bowers from Castle Shannon. And just as soon as this news update begins, we will come right back to you. Janelle and Andrew, there's still a sense of numbness from the people standing around here waiting for word. There's been a man on the phone with a phone to his ear all for the last hour and a half here. He's been waiting for an update. His sister and his mother were inside that building. He found out that his sister was shot in the arm. She is okay. She's in good condition, but she was shot in the arm. He hasn't been able to confirm the condition of his mother. Just to give you a sense of what's going on here, a lot of concern here. Even though the situation has been cleared at the Tree of Life congregation, the suspect is in custody, but there's still deep concern here in this community.
Okay. All right. I'll try to shoot something on video. Just yeah, that's when I got facts. Didn't even look like you have it. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. I was going to say, hope you have it now.
May I squeeze through, please? Yes. Thanks. Thanks for being the gate.
Might forget that battery, friend.
Thank you, man. You're awesome.
No worries, man. I got you. We're just playing battery hop right now. So what do we have confirmed?
Sources told me that a SWAT officer was shot.
Okay.
He's at Mercy Hospital being treated right now.
Okay.
The suspect is Robert Bowers.
Yeah, I saw them. So SWAT officer shot. You know where he was shot? He's in surgery right now?
Well,
he's in the hospital.
Mercy Hospital. He's
Okay. Going on. Me? I do not. It's a very interesting request.
Well, we have a microwave truck, but how close you get is going to be the question.
Then you're too small.
Mike. Yeah, we need chargers. Let me shrink your hair.
I haven't seen you for a while.
Yes. Okay, sounds good.
It's funny because I just raised it.
Okay, we're trying to figure out like
I haven't seen him in years.
The camera should be on. He's on.
Did you see that?
He's got Chris. Yeah, the other one is off. So I'm gonna have to. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put some tripod. Okay. All right. I don't know.
Well, I just wanted to say first and foremost, the person who I talked to who was inside the synagogue, I spoke with him on the phone not long ago, and right now he says, last check anyway, he was giving a statement to police. He said he'd call back when he got a chance, but he basically said right now that he's doing okay, that he's fine, just a little shaken up, still waiting to hear back from him. And also speaking to other people who were around this area when it happened, one woman whose house is to my left said that she didn't hear the shots fired, but she saw the heavy response from police coming here to the area, and multiple times we've had to move out of the road here at the intersection of Murray Avenue and Northumberland Street simply because it's still active scene here, although we do know that the synagogue is secure at this time. Let me step out of frame here real quick just to kind of show you what we're dealing with. And you'll still see that there are still investigators that are down the road there on Murray Avenue. We do know that several different elected officials are here right now. Among them is Governor Tom Wolf, State Representative Dan Frankel, as well as Jay Costa. U.S. Senator Bob Casey is here as well, and we do know that State Rep Mike Turzai has arrived here. One of the things we're still looking at right now is still checking up on the SWAT officer who was shot and in the hospital at Mercy Hospital, waiting for an update in that regard. We again have heard that multiple casualties have been struck here, but we still aren't quite sure on pinpointing an exact number. So what we're doing on our end is we have multiple reporters out here right now, still talking to people who may have seen what's happened inside, including one person who was a rabbi who told us that usually there's about 3 services going on, and that was the case here today. And we're also being told that there was no security at the time. He also told me that the current community security director is actually former FBI, and that they've had previous training on incidents just like this one. So what we're working on right now is still trying to figure out the moments that led up to this, and again, still knowing that Robert Bowers is the person we're being told is the shooter in this case from Castle Shannon. We'll be back with other updates as we're still here at the scene, still waiting to hear back from Pittsburgh Police, still waiting to hear back from Governor Tom Wolf, as well as Mayor Bill Peduto. Janelle, Andrew?
I saw you on CNN this morning. Do you even know that they're carrying it, or you can only find that out later?
Where are you guys getting handy on your
I have no idea.
Well, that street is not Castle Shannon, so because I live there, that's why I'm confused. Okay. So sources might.
What do you need to know?
There's a white one. I mean, there's some address. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Bouncing bars, bouncing bars. Hello, Mike.
We're going to Renee right now. After Renee. Okay.
Oh boy.
Looks like a big group walking this way. All right, well, tell them to come to us. Yeah. Megan, you were on. You were on, Megan. Sorry. You just turned it off.
I know, I'm turning it back on.
Hey, I got you. Got you. Psst, hey, got you.
Chris, you gonna go low?
Huh?
Go low.
I got really awful knees. Can you go low? I got fine. Don't worry about it.
I can't go low behind you.
Nah, don't worry. I got you.
Just go, Jeff. Down in front.
Yes, Peggy, and here's the latest. So you see the group of officials, and we're talking about the governor, U.S. Senator, local and state officials walking toward us, and they're about to give us a statement on what's been going on. And Governor Wolf at the head of the pack here. That's good right there.
Oh, sorry.
So this is an incredibly sad day for all of us, and have some things that people want to report on, but I just want to say on behalf of everybody in Pennsylvania, these were our neighbors. These are fellow Pennsylvanians, and this is an incredibly sad day. I want to thank the first responders for doing what they have done to make us safe and to respond so quickly, so effectively to this tragedy. And I want to turn it over to Wendell.
Wendell Hesrick, City of Pittsburgh Public Safety Director. As the mayor mentioned, we've had a tragedy here today. The work of the first responders has probably prevented it from becoming much more tragedy than what it is. The scene is very bad inside. There are multiple fatalities. There are at least 6 injuries, to include 4 police officers. The police officers' injuries at this time are non-life-threatening. The other individuals are critical and serious in nature. They were taken to 3 of the level 1, level 2 trauma centers here in the city of Pittsburgh, that being Allegheny General, UPMC, and UPMC Presby and UPMC Mercy. At this time, I'd like to say that we have established a phone number with the assistance of the FBI for any questions from victims' families. That number is 412-432-4400. Once again, it's 412-432-4400. A Victims Assistance and Reunification Center has been set up at Chatham College on Chatham campus at Berry Hall at 106 Berry Street. We will have grief counselors there as well as the Red Cross. Please allow about a half hour for the final plans on establishment of that center. However, there are individuals working to have it up and running as soon as possible. A further brief press conference will be held at the County Emergency Operations Center at 4 p.m. this afternoon, of which the elected officials and first responders will give you, as well as the FBI, will give you an update. At this time, this is being considered a federal violation, and the primary investigative agency will be the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I would like to personally thank the many first responders that had responded to this incident today, to include the Pittsburgh Bureau of Fire, Pittsburgh Bureau of Police, the EMS, Allegheny County Police, and FBI, ATF, and numerous others that I can't even count how many first responders are here that are providing assistance. This will be a lengthy crime scene. We're asking people that don't need to be in this area, please stay away from it, so that both the investigators and first responders can do their job. I will emphasize at this time, there appears to be no active threat to the community. This individual that we believe, the subject that is responsible for this, has been taken in custody. That's all I have.
Can you go over what happened?
I don't, that's going to be part of the investigation.
Can you do the numbers one more time for us? For the injuries.
On the injuries, we believe 6 injuries, 4 of which are police officers. So it's a total of 6 injuries.
How many fatalities?
I will not discuss that yet until we are sure of the number.
Are children among the deceased?
I don't want to get into that at this point.
It's been reported that he screamed, "All Jews must die." Is that true or false?
There's a lot of information. I'd be very cautious on what you hear and what you don't hear at this time. Like I say, we have numerous investigators here. I would ask that if anyone has any information regarding the investigation, that they also call that 412-432-4400, and that will put you in contact with the FBI.
Wendell, can you tell us what the situation was in there? How many people about were inside?
I don't have that
was
answer.
A service going on?
I do not want to give you, my understanding was there was a service occurring.
Has the security in place been lifted? Can people in Squirrel Hill leave their houses?
That is correct. However, we are setting up a very hard perimeter around the crime scene, and we ask individuals to stay away from that. So there will be a very secure presence around the crime scene just to protect the integrity of the investigation.
The person taken into custody, any weapons recovered off this person?
I don't want to get into that.
You believe he acted alone, 100%?
I don't want to get into that. Right now, what we have is one subject in custody from the scene. Whether or not, as all these investigations, we have to look into every imaginable fact to find out if there is anyone else that's been involved in it.
What's the next step for you, sir?
I'm sorry?
Is there any evidence of a bomb?
There is not. Explosive ordnance disposal teams went through the scene, and there is no evidence of any IEDs or any further threat.
Wendell,
what's the next step for you, sir?
You sounded very emotional. A hand was placed on your shoulder. Tell me how you feel right now.
It's a very horrific crime scene. It's one of the worst that I've seen, and I've been on some plane crashes. It's very bad. All right, so
What's his identity?
I do not want to get into that. Like I say, there's a very active investigation going on right now.
Who's
Have
going
you
to talk to
identified
us
him?
at 4 o'clock?
I'm sorry?
Who are we going to hear from at 4 o'clock?
You will hear from myself, the SAC, Special Agent in charge of the FBI, the U.S. Attorney, as well as the elected officials.
A lot of moving parts today. What's the next step here?
The next step is secure the crime scene. The FBI has both assets from both Western Pennsylvania and from D.C. en route here, so they will be running the investigation and the crime scene with the support of both the Allegheny County Police and the City of Pittsburgh Police.
Did the shooter actually attend the synagogue at any?
I have no idea. I'd like to also mention the state police. They've been instrumental in helping us out as well.
Just to be clear, is it 6 people or at least 6?
As far as the injuries, right now we're at 6 injuries.
Did you identify the gunman?
It's an active investigation. I mean, obviously we know who the gunman is, but I'm not going to bring that up now.
Why are the feds conducting the investigation?
As I mentioned before, this falls under a hate crime, being it's a Jewish synagogue, so it will be basically a federal investigation with the assistance of the locals, county, and state police.
Is the shooter among those injured?
The shooter was taken to the hospital, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you very much.
You good?
Well, folks, are we still on live? I believe we are. Okay.
Who am I on? You? Excuse me.
Initially from the governor of Pennsylvania, Tom Wolf.
I'll take my mic, Chris.
And from
That's this one. Thank you.
Public Safety Director of the City of Pittsburgh, Wendell Histrick. And I think you could hear from his tone and a moment where his voice cracked, and I forget who put his hand on his shoulder, but this hits him especially hard. And I think you heard me ask about that, and he said he's been to a lot of crime scenes.
Most importantly, he said that they are
This
calling
was
a
an
hate
especially
crime.
horrific
For that
one.
reason,
And you could tell that he was shaken, and so they're not giving us a lot of detail in this. And some of the reporting from Rick Earl and some of our other sources.
That's in just a little shy of 3 hours. We're here right now at the corner of Northumberland and Murray Avenue. He was very visibly shaken up. You heard from him, or if you're just tuning in. He said
I
it was one
am.
of the worst
Oh,
crime
okay.
scenes
All right.
he's seen. He said he's been on.
I'm sorry.
many
I'm hearing a
crime
lot of
scenes.
things here
He's
right
been
now.
on plane
That
crashes,
maybe a
and he
battery
hasn't
is going,
seen
but.
anything this terrible.
But anyway, I just wanted
Those
to
are
say
just some
that
of the key
you
points that
heard
he
him
relayed, and we
not
also
give a
heard
lot of details. He
from
wouldn't give the
Governor
name
Wolf.
of the suspect
Wendell Histrick, he
that
said
we
he's
have
here,
been
and he's
reporting
one of
his name,
many
Robert
public
Powers.
officials that are descending upon
There's a
Squirrel
conflict in
Hill.
how many people
Also,
were
the Attorney
injured
General
and the
Josh
number of
Shapiro
fatalities.
just tweeting out
You
that
heard
he is
Wendell
on his
Histrick
way to
say
Pittsburgh
6.
as well to
He
be
wouldn't
here
go
and
beyond
support
that as
the
to how
leaders
many
of
people.
Pittsburgh as this
Can you grab mic real quick?
Battery in now? Okay.
Can you grab mic real quick? Can you get mic?
Tell you what, I'm gonna take a break and we'll come right back after we change
Huh?
battery.
Sorry. Were you here for all that?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just
yeah,
double
yeah.
checking. At least 6 injured, right? Non-life-threatening.
4 police.
4 police, right? Non-life-threatening injuries on the police.
Yep. They're not talking how many.
How people died.
Thank you, David.
But there are life-threatening on the other people, right? That's what I heard.
He didn't say. He didn't say.
I thought I heard you said there was life-threatening on some of the other people.
Well,
Did I
he
hear
said
that
6
wrong?
injured, and he's not going to talk about casualties.
Hate crime. So 4 police, non-life-threatening. Stand by. What's his name? Wendell? I forget his name. He's the director. Histrick.
Or Wendell Histrick.
Huh?
Wendell Histrick.
He's the director of what was he?
Public safety.
Public
Yeah,
safety.
I think Peggy, you and I, and everybody there in the studio, in the newsroom, and all reporters in the field have interviewed Wendell Histrick a number of times, and we've never seen him like this. I know that I haven't. And here you're seeing tactical teams come through. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. So this is a graphic example of how serious this situation was right here. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for all you do. The picture tells the story right there, doesn't it? As Wendell Histrick was talking about, he hasn't seen anything like this. And that's the type of situation that it required that type of police response that you saw right there. I wanted to get back to the numbers that we've been reporting in. I think Public Director Histrick did not want to get into real specifics, and we asked him about, well, we're hearing a certain number of dead. We've been reporting 8. He said 6 injuries, and he wouldn't talk about the number of fatalities. And I hope you heard this. 4 o'clock, there's going to be an updated a briefing for us. We'll have that for you, I'm sure.
Well, just moments ago, we heard from Public Safety Director Wendell Histrick telling us the lowdown on what exactly happened here. And one of the first things he said was that it is bad inside at the Tree of Life Synagogue when first responders came to this today. And let me just read some of the numbers here that we've got so far, just repeating that. We know at least 6 people were injured, and we know that 4 of them them were police, and being told those were with non-life-threatening injuries. And we're also being told there were multiple fatalities, but he wouldn't exactly say to how many people, how many fatalities there were. And that's exactly why we're still here trying to get more information. So there have been a lot of people asking why exactly the FBI is investigating this now, which we've just confirmed was. It turns out this is being designated as a hate crime now. And so the FBI has stepped in specifically for this situation because it's happened at a synagogue. We've been out here talking to different people, and just moments ago we did see some of the first responders, SWAT team members, walk right through the crowd in the line as they have secured the area. But again, we're being told that it is bad inside. We're just again repeating the person who is the shooter identified, again, Robert Bowers of Castle Shannon. We're still trying to figure out what exactly led up to this. One of the questions I asked after we're being told he was taken into custody was, were there any weapons recovered? What exactly was the motive? But right now it's so early in the investigation, investigators could not quite tell us that just yet. And so we're staying out here trying to hear from other people that may have been inside. And actually not long ago I talked to someone who was inside. Right now, at least at last check, he tells me that he was giving a statement to police. I've been trying to get back in touch with him. He says he's fine, although a little shaken up, and rightfully so, simply because of what's been happening today. Again, this is in Squirrel Hill. We're at the intersection of Murray Avenue and Northumberland Street, and this is all centered around the shooting situation, which is now under control at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Squirrel Hill. Back to you in the studio.
A Tree of Life Synagogue. So as far as what we're going to hear, I'm sorry? Okay, Aaron Martin has new information for us. Aaron, can you hear me? Oh, wait. Oh, he's right here. Sorry. I forgot he's near me. Aaron, tell me what you have. Well, just and as I understand it, what we've been hearing, police believe they have their man. There is no other actor, assailant involved in this there, and they're still barricading off the immediate scene there.
Yeah, so we'll have to. Oh, can you double check on the address?
Not
for that?
right next to the synagogue, but they're into the immediate area. Yeah, at this point.
What's behind you?
Thank you.
Right. That's good to hear. So, and Aaron, I know that you are and have been a member of this immediate community. You've been talking with people out there. I have as well, and there's just such great fear and worry among you people, not knowing who is in there and exactly what happened. Was this during a service? Wendell History did not give us that information, but you have to presume on a Saturday morning at a synagogue at Shabbat there was some sort of service and people gathered. And that's what we're hearing again.
Let me ask this. Do you have... Oh, God, see, look.
Ceremonial circumcision, for those of you who don't know.
So that's 64%.
Robert, how are you? Yes, 3 congregations are housed in the Tree of Life building.
I've got a...
Absolutely.
So there's a plate you can attach, and then you can attach the content now. I don't have that plate.
Okay.
Somebody to go to this.
Right. It would be, at the very least, I think, a friendship or an acquaintance once removed at the very most.
Am I doing all right?
Yeah, I can't even know it's still alive.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay, making sure I'm not like babbling on.
I've got a power inverter.
Nothing.
All right, Aaron, thank you very much for your report. I appreciate it. Aaron Martin, part of our coverage out here. We have probably...
Wait, can you hear me?
reporters and photographers out here on the scene. You've been hearing from Rick Earl, from our traffic expert. We have this just horrific situation. We're trying to cover all the important angles for you and let you know the latest of what's going on. So the immediate crisis of this scene has passed. It was, though, just a terrible tragedy, a horrific situation. They have the suspect in custody. How many people were injured or killed is still being sorted out right now. Is it 6 or is it 8? We don't know that exactly. We've been reporting a certain number. Pittsburgh Police and the Public Safety Department are not really down to this right now.
Nobody's communicating with us.
Yeah, I know. We're in the dark right now. No, we're in the dark right now, 100%.
We got a lot more information about this, what the situation was, what exactly, how did this begin, how did this man get inside? And I know
I have no idea, but I'm watching that.
One other thing, there's been a lot of discussion about during services in this. It's just around the corner from you. Give me your thoughts on what's happened.
It's shocking. These are our friends, these are our neighbors, and when this list of victims comes out, it's going to be people that we know. So I think you've got the mayor who lives right here, Senator Costa. We all grew up here with Representative Frankel, and you see the outpouring of the governor coming here immediately. It's shocking. There's no words, quite frankly.
I know you've been briefed more than details than we have, but we saw Wendell Histrick, a veteran of crime scenes, almost break down. And I can see it in your eyes right now that this scene must have been an awful, awful scene.
Again, this is these are our friends and neighbors. When you say hits close to home, that doesn't even begin to say it. So it's really it's hard to even. You can't even put into words. I have no words to say, but we're all here just to try to support each other and support the families and support people who are going through something that unimaginable.
He was mentioning an FBI phone number. I know a lot of people just around us right here and watching on TV are wondering, much like any other disaster, do I know somebody is my friend or neighbor in there? Is that the best number to call, that FBI number? And what else would you advise people to do?
I assume so, to be honest with you, David. I don't know more than that. I mean, they're trying to get that information together and identify folks. And that number that they gave out is the official number. So nothing more that we would have. So thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
That's County Executive Rich Fitzgerald. I've known Rich as long as I've lived here.
And you just served right there.
In Little League Baseball. He's a great guy. I know where he lives. He's right around the corner from the synagogue there. I'm sorry.
Sorry, just getting an update. It sounds like you've already been listening to it.
I've known Rich a long time, as I said. I could see it in his eyes that as this was described to him by police, as he was briefed, that this was shocking to him, as I'm feeling the shock myself. But I'll send it back to the studio. Sure.
Well, Since I've been talking to people today, one thing I've noticed is that the tone. You've seen these people who have been here, a part of the investigation process, a part of finding out what's going on, and you just hear in their tone that it's just it's very sad from what I understand. I mean, you even heard just a little bit earlier when we talked to Wendell Histrich with the public safety director saying, I'm going to move out of this way here, saying that it's bad inside. I mean, just quite clearly it's bad inside. And we're also being told from investigators there are multiple fatalities in here, but we're not quite sure we're getting a number just yet. That's why we're here. Again, we're being told there's at least 6 people injured, 4 of which were police officers. And we know that those are with non-life-threatening injuries. And again, multiple fatalities here. People going there in service today. Talked to a former rabbi saying that usually there's about 10 to 15 people who attend services. We're not quite sure how many people were inside during the time here, but just to give you an idea of the people who bring their families to service for this on a Saturday. Now, one of the other things we're trying to find out exactly is a motive here and what exactly led up to the shooter, who is taken into custody, whose identity we know. Again, Robert Bowers of Castle Shannon. Still working to get more details in the moments that led up to it. And not long ago, I actually talked to someone over the phone who was inside the synagogue when this happened. Him telling me that he's okay, but he is giving his statement to police. I've been reaching out to him this morning to get another account from him, but again, he's talking to police, so most likely he's busy in that regard. But meanwhile, while we're here in Squirrel Hill, again at the intersection of Northumberland and Murray Avenue, still waiting to get more information as there are still heavy police presence at that synagogue. The place is secure, but again, officials are telling us it's bad inside. Do you get an update?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, here you go. Thanks.
Killing it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
They may be having vehicles come. You want to scoot over a little bit?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm not a part of the news, so you tell me what's the...
He's still here.
Stopping by and saying
My heart breaks.
Yeah, I know. Hope you're well.
Thanks, you too.